Welcome to part 2 where we're fixing this Technics E series. So this is the SL-E10, which is the CD player part of the system. As you can see, the backlight needs attention like we did with the amplifier in the last video, but this doesn't read discs either. So it could be a case of it's just dirty or something more serious. As you can see, it's just saying 0, 0. So we'll need to open this up and have a look and see what's going on. As with the amplifier, you've got 2 screws either side, but unlike the amplifier, there's 2 screws on the back as well on here. Let's pop the case off. So first things first, we'll just see if it's a dirty laser. Just take this off and give it a clean and see if that fixes it. Hopefully that's all it is, and give it a quick service, clean the rails up. But we're going to have to take the front panel off before we can touch anything. So we've got 3 screws along here. So we won't actually disconnect anything, because what we want to do is be able to take this plate off. So as you can see, there's a hidden screw here. So we had to take the front panel off. And to be honest, the laser looks clean, but we'll give it a quick clean anyway. See if it makes any difference. No, nothing. That's not even moving. The laser's not even moving. Now, I wonder if it's just stuck then, because it's trying to focus now, but it wasn't moving. So I wonder if it was jammed up here. We'll try that again. Maybe that's all that was wrong with it. Maybe it's been dropped or knocked at some point, and try again. Because as you can see, the oops, no, it's not made any difference to it anyway. I've already tried cleaning the laser on it, and that's not made any difference. So we've clearly got an issue with the actual laser. So now we can access the drive to remove it out in one piece. So we'll just disconnect everything first. I want to take these 4 screws out. And we can remove this. And at the moment we don't need this part. So we need to remove these screws. And we've got these little plastic clips that if we just bend them back, hopefully we can get the board to come loose. So as you can see, as we open it back, we've got a cable. So you can see we've got a cable here that we need to unhitch. It's just holding these little clips, so we clip them back. We should be able to remove that nice and simple. So we'll just unplug the motor here for the moment. What we want to do is remove this little shield and assembly of the motor. Hopefully now we can just pop this off and lift the whole motor out. As you can see, you've got your little tiny belt on there as well. So if that needs replacing, change it. This one and this one, as you can see there, I think someone's been in here recently, because that is very fresh rubber. So maybe someone's actually been in this and swapped the laser over already, as in for a working one. Taking out a working one and putting a broken one in here wouldn't surprise me. So we can just lift that up now and lift it out. So this has been a real pain to source, because I assumed that, like all the other models from this age, it would be a standard VAM 12 or 1201 like this, which all the other machines from this particular generation use. But no, it uses quite a rare Panasonic specific laser. This is the only Technics deck that has it. In all the other decks that use it are things like Panasonic CD radios, like boom boxes and car stereos. So it just gives you an idea they were just using up cheap parts from the parts bin for this model. So you're gonna have, if you've got the same issue that I had with this weight rotary discs, you're gonna have problems. Luckily, I managed to find a Panasonic system that had the same laser in it. It didn't have the same draw, but it uses the same laser. So we're just gonna swap it over with that and hope that everything works. So I've got my donor laser here, and we're gonna have to put the spindle on it from the other machine. And to do that, we just push it past the sensors and start turning it, and it should line back up. There we go. But this wants to come up a little bit higher than it. That washer wants to sit in that little recess there. Hopefully you can see that. Then we can get the drive motor like so. Pop the screw back on. So now we need to pop this cable back in. I might not be able to get this on camera, but I'll certainly try. So before we forget, we need to just plug that motor back in. Almost forgot about that. Clip holds it there. Clip holds it there. We can now put these two screws back in. So now we're ready to put it back in to the main unit once we've done the bulbs. So next up, we'll just pop this out and get to the back of the board where the bulbs live. So same as on the amplifier, we just need to get into this box. There should be a couple of little tabs underneath. That one's come through, but that one's broken off, I think. Yeah, brittle plastic. I mean, you can see it's how hot it's got. It's all gone brown there. And there's the bit of plastic. We just want to get these bulbs out now. So we'll get our new bulbs, just pop them in. A little bit awkward, but you'll get them through. Just push them down to the board. So they're in the same sort of position as the old ones were. And then we can just pull the wires through like so. Do that with the next one as well. And we'll just do some soldering. Use my little cordless one. I use this now all the time now for these sort of little things, to be honest. It heats up pretty quick, and it's a lot easier than having wires and things hanging off the end. Just pop the plastic cover back on. And put all this back in now. So we can now put the drive and everything back in. We have a display and it says no disc, but it was doing that before. Let's pop any old disc in. There we go. As you can see, it just needed a new laser, which easier said than done, trying to get older one these days. But that's the second part of the system done. So join me next time now, when we'll tackle the tape deck and then look at the complete system all working. See you in the next one.